Welcome to the Viewing Center's Game of Thrones Recap podcast. I'm Tega. I'm joined by my regulars, Precious, and my other regular Edmund, who hasn't featured on the podcast yet, but is my co-host on the Viewing Center podcast, the football section. Precious, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, Tega?
I'm good. I'm okay. I've seen better days. Edmund, how are you doing? Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much, Tega. I'm fine. I'm great. I feel good.
How did you hope Game of Thrones didn't ruin your birthday celebrations?
Oh, no, it did not ruin my birthday celebration. I actually watched it late. Like, I watched it this evening. Yeah, so
yeah,
the birthday celebration was over. There was no much celebration. I just had a couple of friends and we just had a nice time together. We're about two of my friends came. So it was good.
Celebration is fun. I say that kind of celebration is always fun.
Yeah, just low key.
And I think you were active on Twitter. So how did you get see all spoilers and everything? Or you already were spoiled, so you didn't care?
Oh no! I've blocked a lot of the major words. I've blocked it, and I think on Saturday a spoiler started coming that I think they said the spoiler that someone died came.
Yeah.
So immediately I saw it first. I didn't read it completely, but immediately I just saw it. I just updated my mute words. I just blocked a lot more words. So I was not seeing anything on Twitter.
Yeah. So for anyone listening to this podcast, well, there are a lot of spoilers. So I guess everyone who is listening in would have actually seen the episode now. So let's just quickly get into everything that happened. Let's start with Rhaegar's death. I think last week on the podcast, I was so adamant that Rhaegar was dead because I didn't see him. I didn't see how he could have avoided dying and after the whole attack that happened last week. But anyway, this episode, you've ended up finally kicking the bucket. And I don't understand the point of Game of Thrones directors. He didn't die last week and we saw him for 2 seconds this week or 3 seconds and he was dead. So what was the point of the whole leaving him to stay alive last week and killing him in less than 10 seconds this episode?
Okay, so first of all, I don't think I think the blame should actually go to Dany. Based on, if you notice, Rhaegar wasn't flying too well. To me, I didn't think Rhaegar was flying too well. And she didn't give the dragons time to heal and rest after that whole attack. Like you said, we even thought Rhaegar was dead and now he's alive and you're going into another war in less than how many hours. Yeah, you're not really thinking straight because you are grieving and you've lost a lot. And then the whole other scenario is playing on at the background. She could have waited a bit. Dany could have waited a bit, prepared, have a lot of time to think and reply. Now I'm going to kill Cersei and all that. Cersei is devious and she's really, really smart. I think I said it last episode, one of the few people who could probably face Cersei or match her smartness or wit present will be Sansa. So Dany ignoring Sansa's advice and going to Westeros to fight, I think it's contributed to Rhaegar's death.
Okay, Edmund, what did you think about the whole situation with the dragon?
Tega, I'm going to be very honest with you.
Yeah.
I love the Game of Thrones. I feel like the writing has been impeccable, but I did not like this episode. And you know why I did not like this episode?
Okay, go on.
I don't like the way they are portraying Daenerys, because this is a character that for a long time we've been led to believe that she was the one, yeah?
Yeah.
At a point, everybody has to be honest and say at a point they all thought she was the one that was meant for the throne. And
yes.
Not just that she was meant for the throne. We thought she was capable. We thought she was going to be a worthy ruler and a good ruler.
Yeah.
Okay, because she did lots of work at Dawn, where she freed lots of slaves, she freed lots of people, she acquired an army.
Yeah.
Even before she finally flew across the narrow sea. There was a time when she had gotten the Dothraki, she had gotten the Unsullied, she had a dragon, she could have flown, but she still stayed behind at that place to make sure she freed those people from slavery and stuff like that. So you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So a lot of times when when she has said repeatedly that she was not her father, she was not going to do the things that her father did, the Mad King did, where he burnt people and stuff like that. You get? So I don't understand. And even up till the last season where she came and she wanted to go and fight the war, obviously, against Cersei, but because of Jon Snow, she had mellowed down. She had fought the Ninth King. She lost one of her dragons in the process. Yeah. Are you saying what I'm saying? Yeah. She lost one of her dragons in the process. She has lost a lot of her Dothraki people. So this episode just kind of did not show her in a very good light at all. I don't know. Yeah. I would say a lot of people are saying there have been signs that she's power drunk. It's why she refused to listen to Sansa's advice. It's why she wants to match. Maybe the fact that she has dragon is cashing her head, that she feels it's going to be an easy battle. She will just go there with that dragon, spitfire. But I don't like the way they are portraying her to be, because she's not looking happy. She's looking like somebody that is going mad. She's looking like somebody that is going to be like her father. Because there's a scene where I think Varys was telling her that if you attack the capital now, you are going to burn a lot of people will die, and this is not what we want. And she was like, there's a small price to pay for free. I was like, what's that? That's not something. I don't know if I'm making sense. Yeah, that's not something the Daenerys we've known right from time was to say. So I'm disappointed, really. The thing just pissed me off. I don't like that. It's why the dragon died. I'm sure they probably kept it alive so that Cersei will kill it. So it will look like she has lost another dragon. Because the way it is now, she's losing the war. She's losing everything.
Well, I think to get to your point, I think it's not the fault of episode 4, because I feel episode 4 was like one of the best episodes. In fact, for me, it was like the best episodes out of the 4 episodes this season, because we had battles in this episode. We saw the battle. We saw planning for the war. We saw lots of politicking between Varys and Tyrion, and lots of dialogue. So there was everything encompassed into this.
It was a brilliant episode. I'm sorry about it.
I feel the story, what you're really complaining about is something I wanted to talk about later into the podcast. But since you brought it up, I think we should just address it first before we actually move on, because I get your point about Daenerys, and it's something I wrote in my notes. I said, what I wrote is actually that why are people scared of Daenerys? Because because we've known her from season 1, and she's we've known her to be this fair leader who wants to do everything right, who wants to and help people. So why all of a sudden?
The truth about it is that the fact that when you need to get that there's a shift in the scenarios now. People who've been saying Dany with were oppressed people who needed help, people who needed someone to stand for them. And now we're bringing her into a different scenario of where you got people who are like strong on their own. They're headstrong. They're not friendly to outsiders. And if you notice, Dany is not someone who is used to rejection. And we're having people who are rejecting her even when she's doing good things, like she's actually trying to help them. They're not friendly. If you can see, they are really not friendly, and they're in a way they are racist. If you see the way they acted towards Missandei and the other Unsullied and the rest of them, they are not friendly.
But
I feel they're setting Dany up. Dany looking like the man. We didn't expect Dany to kill the 9. I think they're going to do something, and Dany is still going to come out in a good light. I think this is probably just will be like a trial time for her.
There are just 2 episodes left. How else can they write it that she comes out?
Did you ever imagine it to be Arya killing the 9th King? Say the truth.
I never imagined it, but I have my theory, Sha. I think I'll say it later on.
Yeah, we'll keep the theories.
It's possible that Dany is going to, likely, like the theory floating now is that Dany is going to get killed, Jon Snow is going to be the one made king, and crazy theories and Cersei, because the prophecy, I think, what episode was that? Way back, some episode, I can't remember the exact episode or the season, where Cersei went to a lady that prophesied.
I remember that prophesied that she died.
Remember?
And her brother, one of her brothers.
And then her brothers, her younger brother. So, and she has two now, Jammie and Tyrion. So we don't know the exact younger brother. So that's just the theory. Either Jammie or Tyrion or Arya using Jammie's face.
But for Arya to use, I've thought about that. For Arya to use Jammie's face, she has to kill Jammie. because they can't use your
exactly. And
person if
Arya
you are
has
not
no
dead.
qualms. Arya has no qualms.
Jammie. And then Tega, very quickly, when Jammie left Brian, whatever he did with Brian and he left her, is he going to fight for Cersei, or is he going to fight against her? Because I did not understand.
Yeah, we'll get to that. If let's not jump around. If we end up jumping around, we'll end up missing a lot of things. So let's just start maybe chronologically, or at least start from somewhere so we can eventually get there.
Okay.
There were lots of goodbyes in Westeros. There were lots of goodbyes. We saw Sam and Gilly. Gilly's somehow she's pregnant now. All of a sudden, I think during the war, Sam had a lot of time to drop one of determination.
Yeah, they give her back to back, both back.
Then we saw maybe Tomod. So another goodbye with Tomod. Do we think Edmund? Do you think this is like the end of these two characters, or do you think we'll still see them towards the end of the show, or this is the final goodbye for both Sam and Gilly and Tomod?
Okay. I think for Sam and Gilly, I think it may be the end for Sam and Gilly, because I don't see Sam's purpose, I feel, has been fulfilled. You get his part in all of this was to read that scroll that shows that they were legally married, and I think he's done that. He has somehow inexplicably escaped death against the Night Walkers. So I don't see anything happening. But for Tomon, first of all, the send forths were very emotional. They were very nice. I loved the way the episode started with the burial. The way I loved when Sansa dropped that Stark House of Stark stuff on Sion. I loved whatever Daenerys told Ser Jorah. She finally gave him a kiss, but he was still there. He was there already. I love the beginning of the episode. I love Jon Snow's speech. I love the send forth. I love they finally made final goodbye to Ghost. I think it was a final goodbye, because he was not really getting much screen time. I feel it was good that he went with them across the. But with the way the story is going, I feel Jon Snow will have to call for reinforcements, because I don't see, with the men that they have on ground, I don't see how they are going to win the war. You get what I'm saying? So I feel there's a slight chance that someone and his people may have to come back. For Sam and Gilly, I think that's done. Yeah.
Okay. For Jammie and Sir Brian, we saw Jammie and Sir Brian. They finally did the whole tension that's been building within their relationship has finally led to them having I won't call it a one night stand, but because it looked like something that really happened more than a night.
More than once. Yeah.
Yes, more than once. So then Brian finally opens up to this guy and everything. Then Sir Jammie breaks her heart and runs off to, I don't know whether it's going to defend Cersei or it's going to kill Cersei, but it leaves Brian heartbroken. As a lady, Precious, how do you feel about that whole issue?
Let's start with the fact that Jammie, for all his bravado, he has very terrible foreplay. Imagine telling her, drink up, and the next thing you're pulling your shirt, like, well, I don't understand first. Who wrote that scene? Because that scene is messed up.
It's typical Jammie.
I think, for crying out loud, probably I think it's been only Cersei for him for a really long time, maybe.
Yeah.
Not wrong forever. Really can't tell the but it was really, he had no game starting with that. Then I think she was heartbroken, but I don't feel Jammie was actually going the way everybody's expecting him to go. I don't think he's going to actually go and save Cersei. I don't think that's the plan. And I think she was heartbroken. She was heartbroken based on she just exposed herself to someone, and then it just
Tega, just to chip in a few words here. I feel like what they just portrayed there was a normal female. Well, she knew or she knows that someone loves her. She knows someone is the good guy. He will do anything for her. She knows Jammie is the bad guy. She knew. Everybody knows Jammie is a bad guy. I mean, this guy is sleeping with his sister, for crying out loud. What kind of person sleeps with his own sister? but it's still like a normal girl would do. They always get attracted to the bad guy.
No. This is typical. This is typical male. This is
crying.
This is typical male saying that the good girls always go for the bad guys. That's not true. That's not true. It's just that in most scenarios, you probably that's not always the truth. It's just that bad guys usually have more game than good guys. Let's be sincere.
So are you saying Tom? Because Tom was.
I'm saying just imagine how someone was acting her out with drinks and for crying out, he was talking about vomit.
The guy is I don't want to use the swear word, but he's a wildling. That's how he is.
Exactly. No, that's the truth about it. That's just it. Okay, let me explain something. Like if I should put two ladies in your front, someone who looks, how would I put it? Okay, should I use the word tattered for lack of a better word? Tattered, she can't represent herself well, she can't string along two languages. She probably will have a good heart, obviously. But then, because of the communication barriers and the whole things you are saying, you probably would not get to know that. Then I'll put someone else that looks calm, may not be good, but you are seeing effort of this person trying to be better. Just be sincere. Who would you pick?
What will pick is not going to change the outcome. What to be will be. A bad person will always do a bad thing. And
exactly, but you cannot blame.
How can you beat her like that and you can beat giant and be crying? I felt bad for her.
There's one thing that is universal to either strength or weakness. Heartbreak. Anybody can receive it, and anybody can get it, and anybody can.
I felt bad for her, but then
it's not male, it's not female.
I felt bad for her, but
everybody was expecting.
In a way, I did not feel bad for her because we all knew Jammie. When push comes to shove, Jammie will always success.
What you're saying now, you would have felt better if it was Tom who broke her heart. You'd have probably felt sad.
The point is that Jammie will always put Cersei first most of the time, and that's what just displayed.
Someone cannot break her heart. That guy loves her too much to break her heart. If that guy will kill the whole world.
Did you see how we rebounded so fast? Please don't talk about love when it comes to Tom.
Okay, let's move on. Let's finally see how will I say it now? Let's see the fallback or the fruits of what happened in episode 1 when Cersei sent and Kilburn to give Bronn his Aronan to kill and have brothers. So we saw Bronn finally show up in Westeros, and he just walked in like the boss and came to threaten Tyrion and Jaime, which I thought was weird because he came out of nowhere, and obviously I think he can be arrested. How does he come to start threatening like two very high, like it's like someone breaking to start threatening Osibandra. I don't know how to really put this in
I get where did he come from? How did he get there without getting seen?
Yes, and what did you feel? Yeah, what did you feel about the whole threat scene? And how do you think this plays out?
The guy is being serious. So the guy, we've always known. Yes, he's an assassin. So I was not really surprised that he came out of nowhere. It's what he does. It's why. But my issue with him now is not really an issue with him. We've always known that he's somebody that wants power, he wants houses, that's what he wants. That's what he has been fighting for. So it's typical Tormund. It's typical Bronn. I'm not surprised. At least he did not kill them. He allowed them to prepare a better offer for him, and he told them he's going to hold.
I always knew he was going to negotiate. There was no way he's going to kill them. Besides, he already had a deal with Tyrion to double whatever anybody made to kill him.
Yes. So I think that just settles it.
Whoever is smart will know what to do.
Okay. For all the faults we have with Daenerys, she did one very nice scene in this episode where she made Gendry the Lord of Storm's End. I mean, from season 1
that was a political move.
That was a political move just to
yeah,
gain.
it was also let me get to my point. It was also a nice move in my opinion because it was also a nice move in my opinion. She made him the Lord of Storm's End, and from season 1 to season 8 we've never seen Storm's End, so I don't understand. She made him the Lord of a place we've never seen.
I feel like she did it because obviously she wanted like to gain favor in the sight of everybody. But regardless, it was a nice touch. I feel it was fair. The guy is being the last living Baratheon, and after everything he has been through, he has fought, he has survived. Good. It was nice. I think it was one of the few bright spots from the episode. It was a good. Forget it was a political move, but it was fitting. I felt it was fitting.
Yes, I think he has been having it good from Arya to being to surviving the war to being.
Yeah. So that guy is not afraid. He's going to ask.
My God!
The slayer of the Night King to be his wife, his housewife.
Let's get into that.
Arya.
What was he thinking?
I think Arya friend zoned him. I don't think that was fair for Gendry. I know that's typically not Arya. Arya would never be the one to become a lady and all those stuff. But I could feel for Gendry. You could see in his face reaction. This is just the face of every guy who falls in love with a lady and he gets friend zoned. It was terrible in my opinion.
I don't think she friend zoned him. No, I don't think she friend zoned him. She did not friend zone. No, Tega, you can't call that friend zoning.
That's friend zoning. She's not marrying him. So what's the point?
She's not.
She's not marrying.
No, that's so different.
She's not going to marry any other person else. Arya is not the type of person that will get married.
She's not the marrying kind.
She's not marrying him because she's not that kind of person. You get? It's not.
Can you imagine Arya probably wearing a gown like Sansa and sitting down and just munching affairs over someone's house?
Yeah, she even said it that's not her. So I know immediately Gendry made that proposal. In my head, I was already saying Arya is never going to accept this, so there's no point.
But at one point, it felt like she was going to say yes. I was so sure. I was like, what are these people doing?
I was so sure she was never going to say yes. Arya, no way. I was so sure she was. I was just like, oh my God, the sex really so good that and you had to go up because this is bad. This is going to end badly. It was just a funny scene. I think
talking about someone with no affection, because Arya seems to have no affection for Gendry when it comes to marriage. Jon had no affection for Ghost this episode. I mean, it was just long stares and it was just long stares and nothing, no really joining and meeting up with Ghost, giving him a hug or something. It was just the goodbye Jon Snow had with Ghost was not worthy of what we've seen with their relationship since this Game of Thrones actually started. Jon has always had this good relationship with him. I don't know whether to call his beast or his pet or something with Ghost, but this episode was just plain because I think Ghost was even literally beside him when Sam said, you've been my best friend. And Jon also said, okay, yes, you've been my best friend, but there was a Ghost before Sam, so I don't understand why Jon was so cold towards Ghost.
Jon and Ghost, they may get a reunion. Like you said, I think they may need backup. And I don't think casting them back to where they were, that's Tormund, them, the Wildlands back may be so good of an idea if you are trying to bring peace and unity to everybody. Shouldn't you bridge the gap, bring them closer or something?
No, but they have to go back home. That's where they are most comfortable. I get that they have to go back. Yeah, they can be in peace and live in peace wherever they are. They already have the relationship. He's the leader of the Wildlands, yeah, and he has a good relationship with Jon. On the reunion with Ghost Tega, I felt like I did not really resonate to be inappropriate or insufficient until you are just pointing it now. I still don't see it as a big deal. I get what you want him to go and touch it and pet it and maybe say so. He's living for a while without Ghost and he's just sending Ghost off to go and stay with Tormund or just because first and foremost he said a wolf is never meant to be in the south, that there are places in the north. So he's sending him back home where his rightful place and where he's supposed to be. And he's leaving him in the hands of a trusted friend. I really don't see an issue there, really. It was okay.
But for his character, Jon Snow is a touchy-feely kind of person.
True, though.
So we're expecting more from him.
Yeah, you have a point there.
Okay. There was this conversation with the Hound had a conversation with Sansa, and he had a conversation with Arya, and the conversation he had with Arya was just with Sansa rather they were just talking with Sansa about her experiences and all. And Sansa said if she hadn't gone through this trials and tribulations with Ramsay, with Cersei, she'll still be a little bird. And I think this house, Sansa has grown to become the person she is at the moment. And also, we had the conversation with Arya, also when they were leaving Westeros to go to King's Landing. And he said something that he has an unfinished business. And I think the unfinished business is still this war he has with Clegane. What do you think about that in particular?
Yeah, I feel there's going to be a battle. I feel he's the one that is going to finally, because at the end of the season finale last season, there's a scene where after he brings the wildling, the White Walker, and he drops it, he goes to look at his brother and he says, "You know who's coming for you." You get so. Yeah. I feel like there's going to be a final epic battle with both of them. But at this point now, also I think. Grey Worm will be staking a claim to take his life, considering what he did at the end.
Yeah.
But on his conversations with the Stark sisters, I felt they were nice. I liked the fact that I liked where Sansa held his hands. I liked what she said, and what she said was the truth. You get, but he also told her that he would have protected her. He would have not made her go through those bad things that he did. Just telling her that he cared about her and it was going to be different to her. But in a way, everything happened for a reason. And I think Sansa has acknowledged that. And I think she's happy everything happened the way it did, And then the conversation with Arya where they were leaving, and then he asked Arya that if he's going to die, will Arya let him die? And she was like, probably. I knew that was the exact word she was going to say.
I think the Stark sisters, the few people that can actually make him laugh, which is really nice. Thinking of how they started and how they ended up.
Exactly, because they don't see. It was part of those she wanted to kill. So I think it's a good turnaround in that relationship.
Yeah, so it was for Sansa. She still doesn't trust Daenerys. I know they've been building this up since they met in episode 2. Episode 1, there's not just trust for Daenerys at all. I mean, if Daenerys is going to marry Jon or something, I mean, Sansa will be like, we always talk about Patience Okoh in Nigerian movies. She's this very harsh mother-in-law. So I think Sansa will be that version of Patience Okoh. She's going to be this very harsh sister-in-law. She doesn't care for Dany. Whatever Dany says, she's always ready to retaliate. Is there a way that relationship can get better, Precious?
I don't see it getting better. You should understand, for Sansa, she has experienced something with people with power. Yeah. Everybody who has had power over her has been able to collect something from her.
Yeah.
Or make a way to, like, they use that power. People with power, they don't act so good with power.
Yeah.
So coming from someone who is distrustful of power, not just a person, of power itself.
Yeah.
And then combining the fact that she's a Stark and she's from the north and they are not so friendly to outsiders. You see, Jon even telling her that she don't trust outsiders, but I'm family. It's just their own thing on their own. But then she also has good reason not to trust Dany with the way Dany acts. She wants, and Sansa wants to not.
Sorry, I'm going to stop you there now. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, bro. Let's be straight. Let's like recap on their relationship. She had not liked Dany from the first time she saw her. There was no reason. Dany has not given her any reason not to trust her. Why? What reason? She came with her brother. She saw already that they were in love. She came with her dragon. She came with her fighters.
Yeah.
She wanted to go and fight a war, but she had put all that to save your town and to save your city. Without Daenerys' army, without Daenerys giving up her army and her soldiers and everything, they will have lost Winterfell. She would probably be dead. But it started from the first scene where she was on that hill and she saw Daenerys' dragon. It was just like, you get, and even the first episode where they were talking about, she said she has already planned for the food that everybody will eat and stuff, and then so like what the dragons eat anyway, and then Daenerys is like,
the power factor was talking about. Sorry.
So why was there not to trust her? But Daenerys had tried. She even had to call her down for a conversation to smoothen things out. Sansa is still hell-bent on not liking her. You get, and I had another issue with the episode, Tega, very quickly. It was with Arya. I get that. I was very happy. I love Arya, but there's a scene where Jon Snow tells them the truth and makes them swear that, I'm not going to tell anybody. When he said something, then she was not like, you are family. Arya said, you are family, and we are telling you that your queen, what did she say? I think what she said, we're telling you that your queen is not good. How does she know? Yeah. How does Arya herself know that queen is not good? How do they know that she's not good? What has she done to show that she's not good? It's a
stark factor. They don't like outsiders. This is it. And it's a
foolish factor.
Yeah, pressure is good.
No, but you understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Arya in particular, that Daenerys has not given her anything to show that she's not a good person, to show that you should not trust her. So why is Arya saying we don't trust her? You get, we're telling you that your queen, or whatever it is that they're saying.
But do you think Dany should be trusted? Dany here is saying Jon Snow shouldn't tell his family, and using the fact that your sisters has changed. She has gone through this. Dany has gone through lots of things, horrible things that made her into the person. So she can't say.
To be fair, she's saying that Sansa is not the girl she grew up with. Is the truth now? Sansa has changed.
It's the truth, but that's not an excuse for you telling someone who you know is not a liar to lie to his family and not tell them.
That's what I'm saying. That the way they are portraying Dany now, she's looking power drunk, desperate, hell bent on getting the throne, no matter the cost, no matter what she's going to do. That was wrong. In that episode, in that season, in that place, she was trying to manipulate Jon. The kiss, the don't tell them, I told you this is how the relationship is going to work. That's manipulation now.
But you know, she feels like she's losing it all.
She feels like she's losing it all, and she's losing it all, fam. She is. She's
really losing it all. So I don't know why we expect her state of mind to be exactly the same. I feel the difference that will make the difference between Dany and probably her father or any other terrible ruler would have, it will be at the end of our compassion. Most leaders, when they see most mad leaders, mad with power, when they see you kill someone important to them, they wouldn't, how will I put it? They wouldn't.
It changes them.
It changes them. I don't know why we expect these changes, this loss that she's experiencing, not to affect her and her ability to think. I think by now, the problem is that most people we are not ready to support Dany through the bad phase. We are used to her being the good person and everything, but even good people have bad times. And I think that's one thing I love about Jon. I love her. Jon was able to see about her.
That's why I'm not happy with the way they are writing, with the way they are trying to portray her. Like she's losing everything. She's desperate. She was manipulating Jon there and stuff like that.
But she was.
Yeah, she was. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Doesn't mean you shouldn't see that she's actually going wrong and understand what people are saying.
Okay, about this Sansa and Daenerys issue, because I know it's really something that it's a big talking point throughout the season. And now Daenerys has lost Missandei. I think we'll get to that. How does Daenerys move forward with these issues now she's facing? Because for me, I don't blame Daenerys. Precious has been one very huge critic of Daenerys. If you've listened to this podcast from episode when we started it, she has been a huge critic of Daenerys. So I don't blame Daenerys, because my problem is that she has lost a lot. She has lost Jorah. She has lost the Dothraki, which are people that she's very close with. And now she's losing Missandei. So she has lost people who are very close to her. So I expect all these irrational reactions from her. And because number one, her advisors, Tyrion, has been making wrong decisions every single time. Like keeps on giving wrong advices or making wrong decisions. You saw this episode, they made one, they tried to negotiate with Cersei. You don't negotiate with Cersei. She's not going to listen to you. Varys keeps on making wrong decisions, and we saw Varys now, which we'll get into, trying to plot treason at the back of Daenerys. So advisor, she doesn't trust them, number one, and she's losing her key. To me, she's losing her key people, her key alliance in a way, if I'm to put it in that words, her key friends. So I do not blame her for going off rails. But moving forward now, what plan? How do you see her moving forward into episode 5 and this battle? And how do you think she can finally get to defeat Cersei? Or finally start seeing the old Daenerys we've always loved?
Tega, I have no idea. At this point, for me, I'm really interested to see, because I watched an interview where she said the next episode was the best that they shot. You get, and it's the thing with Game of Thrones. The episode before the finale is always the best. Episode 9 is always the best previously. So even last season's episode, the previous year. So she was like, every minute of it, said the actors could not even believe what they were acting. So I'm interested to see. But from where we are now, it looks like she has lost hope, because she's even exposed. Only God knows if beginning of the next episode says Cersei can just open fire on all of them. They can literally kill all of them the way they are right now. So I'm really interested to see how she's going to react going forward.
Okay, Precious.
Yes, I think definitely Dani will have a plan. I think now she can go back and rethink some of her decisions and find a way around this. Because presently now she's a flight risk. She can't take her dragons anywhere. Because I was actually thinking she was heading straight for Euron, like she wasn't going to turn. And I was like, is this lady seeing that Arya there is coming for a dragon? Before she turned around, I was like, okay, she's still saying, okay, calm down. Because I guess her plan, I really can't predict anything right now. I can't predict something. Probably she'll get armors for her dragon, or should come from a different angle from where, or being Cersei should be well prepared.
Cersei is well prepared. Cersei, that's why Tyrion has just been very disappointing for a long time now. I'm sorry, but he has been disappointing. He prides himself as being the wisest man, but I'm sorry, he has been foolish. How do you go and execute somebody that Cersei is ready to die? She has nothing.
Nothing to
she
lose.
would rather die. You've seen what she has. You've seen the weapon she has, and I don't know why none of them took notice of that. In the last season, when they went to fight those people, when she won that war, there was the weapon there. There was just one of it. It touched one of her dragons. Why did she not mention it at all and look for a solution at all until now? You get then you Tyrion now. They've almost spear you out of your boots. Like you jump inside water, jump inside water to survive. You are going to negotiate with somebody like that she should surrender. You know your sister. Does she look like the kind of person that would surrender?
Tyrion.
Exactly.
Have you not seen the kind of? You've heard her saying stuff like, you should bring everybody to the what's the name of that place? Is it Red Keep? That before they will get to her, they will burn all of them. Somebody is ready to. She's ready to die. You are going to beat her.
I'm
sure that and take her very briefly. I'm sure the fact that Tyrion now mentioned her being pregnant. You know, Euron thinks he's the father.
He nearly ruined their plans.
No, I'm sure he has already ruined their plans. That's going to be an issue.
Because if Euron is smart,
he's going to figure it out. So I'm sure that's part of the reason said that made her kill Missandei. Yes.
Daenerys is somebody, for me, moving forward for Daenerys, I feel she's someone that should not be provoked more, in my opinion, because she can act very rational. I think she has said it before when I think previously, I think in season 5 or season 6, when she was talking to Varys and I think Tyrion she was saying, why don't I just burn the whole city to the ground and rebuild it and start all over? I think if she's pushed to the limits where she is
playing her own game with the whole.
Yes. I think there's more to expect from her, and this war with Sansa's wisdom, she definitely may be able to win this. And I think Dani may get to fall back to Sansa, just may. You don't know. We don't know yet, but she may get to fall back to Sansa for advice. We're going to be surprised.
Yeah, you mentioned something about Euron and if he was being smart. I think Euron is just dumb now, and he just thinks with his third leg. Because if Tyrion is mentioning that she's pregnant, how does Tyrion know that Tyrion know that? Are we supposed to just assume that there are ravens flying from north to south and are sending this kind of messages? Euron should at least grab that. We've done this.
This is the thing. If he's smart, to me, if he's smart enough, I think he shouldn't tell Cersei. he knows anything. He shouldn't bring up.
I don't think he knows.
If he knows, but if he's smart enough and he knows, he shouldn't bring it up. He should definitely find a way for them to win this war before bringing up or possibly killing her.
Yeah.
You get. But which it will be very stupid. I'm suspecting it will be very stupid. He will probably bring it up to her. She probably has.
Cersei would kill him. We've always known Cersei.
Definitely, she would snuff him out before he can even breathe.
Yeah.
So that's my.
So what is Varys plotting against Daenerys? Because we saw Tyrion and Varys talking, and they were doing this politicking, which I actually love in Game of Thrones. I love to see when politics are being played out. And Tyrion was asking him, what exactly does the realm mean to you? And it seems Varys now Varys is someone that keeps on jumping from one king or one leader to the other. It's not really. And Tyrion, and Tyrion told him, Tyrion told him, and Tyrion told him at a point, you need to stick to one person and fight for that person. So what is Varys planning?
He has no loyalty. He has no loyalty
whatsoever. And it's one of the few things I'm admiring about Tyrion, that even though he knows that Jon Snow is obviously going to be a better leader, yes, he knows that he has more claim, but he's still looking for a way to advise and help, because you have sworn your loyalty to somebody. You don't just give up on people like that. And he said it that she's going to be a good queen with the help of her advisors. And they've been advising her. She has been taking better. She has been doing better since until now. So this Varys now, you are saying that the story don't the day one kind of, it won't jump ship. It won't go the winning side. Before you know that, you go the stand for back of Jones. He has to die. I feel
Daenerys. If Daenerys, once Daenerys finds even a sniff of what Varys is trying to do, I think she's going to kill him. In my opinion,
exactly, and rightly so.
And rightly so, definitely.
Rightly so, yes.
When a leader is making a mistake or a leader is going wrong, you look, like he said, look the leader into the face and tell them this is the wrong decision. Fine. And then why is it that fine? They probably don't want to distract her from the war. If you are discussing something like this, I don't know, like Tyrion said, we're probably going to die. You don't know. Cersei is probably going to kill us all and then solve our problem.
Yeah.
So why on earth should you be thinking of a way to usurp her when you're actually on her team?
It doesn't make, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't make sense. You see people like that, they generalize things. He's saying he's doing it for the realm. Who exactly is the realm according to Tyrion? Everyone, people who's in their house, people who you are actually, this lady is fighting. It doesn't make sense. Varys is just...
That one is just thinking about himself, how to put himself in position of power. Is a snake.
Let's do a quick tribute and a deserving tribute to Missandei. But before we do this tribute, I just want to find out, how the hell did she get kidnapped? Because I feel is it like a targeted kidnapping or something? I mean, she was the only one that... She was the only one that they had the crash happen, and the next thing we are seeing that she's been kidnapped. It was just...
I was really angry. Yeah. I was really angry at that date. Seriously. It getting her, kidnapping her. Why did she come along? She can't fight. Why did they bring her along? I told you, you've already said it, that this honeymooners is just too much. She could have stayed back and then waited for the war to be over. That's more reasonable. Bringing her into this scene and then she getting kidnapped and dying the most... To me, I feel that death is meaningless. There's nothing anybody's going to tell me. It was not redemptive like Tyrion's death that was redeem himself. It was not Lady Mormont's death where she was bereaved. This death was... I don't care about that jokery she said at the end.
Oh my God, what was that? Wait, they gave her a chance to confess and pray to God.
She's like a martyr now. She's just telling Daenerys, burn everything to the ground. She doesn't care if you need to burn the whole city. Dracarys burn every single thing. But
then again, Precious, when you are fighting war, you must be prepared for the loss of casualties. She's a casualty of war. That's it. There's no.
Yes, it was definitely not something that should have had to.
Preventable.
All these people. Yes, that's what got me angry.
But it just shows you the reason why they've been foolish. to tell you, yes, now because somebody like that should not be in the battlefield, should not be on scene.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? We don't need you to. You don't use English to win wars. You should be at home with Sansa. You get what I'm saying? Stay at the north in Sansa. When I've taken throne, you come. You get what I'm saying?
You see, I like Sansa. She knows she can't fight. She knows she can't do anything related to battle apart from planning it or plotting it. So she stays where she's safe, which is reasonable.
Yeah.
But I did not feel bad for her death, Sha. Let me be honest. I didn't feel shit. I didn't feel one thing for her death. I knew it's something that has to happen. Casualties happen, and there'll be a lot more deaths in the coming episodes.
I think Tega felt it more because.
No, not really.
I felt it more because I was expecting them in Abuja. Don't like just tell them.
Not really.
They need to get straight.
Not really. The fact is that coming from somebody like me who was expecting, I think I said the last episode that I was expecting a large casualty of our main characters to die. So coming from someone like me who is expecting most of them to die, it was like, okay, she's dead, no problem. I was like expecting it in my head for something like to start losing these characters. So it was just sad to see her go. But I think she has played her part and everything. Something we've not talked about so much in the podcast. I think we should just round up with him because he's a major character, Jon Snow. I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand why Jon Snow cannot just tell a single lie or just be dishonest for once. I think Daenerys was, the guys were saying Daenerys was trying to manipulate him and everything, but he cannot just tell a single lie. He's following this part of Ned Stark, and that was the same thing that killed Ned Stark. That's what made Ned Stark lose his head. Now, I think he's now being worse than Ned Stark. He's not doing what Ned Stark did ×3. And I think if he keeps on following this part, he might end up dying because of this. Just tell a white lie or something. Okay, Edmund, go.
Just to add a word to what you're saying about Jon Snow. I love him. I love his story. I love the way he built himself. I love the way he gathered literally everybody to fight Night Walkers. Without him, he would have died. He's a war hero. He's everything.
All right.
Yeah, so Jon Snow, it looks like the writers are prepping him up for the throne now from the whole beginning of the story. And I love him. I love his story. I love the way he came about and stuff like that. The way he died, the way he united everybody to fight the Night King. Without him, they probably have died anyway. But for a leader, he looks too gullible. It looks like someone that you can push around. It doesn't look so tough. Plus, he's this type of person that he doesn't want any leadership position, but he just keeps getting it regardless. It's like someone that gets a job he does not apply for. You get. Yeah. So I don't know how he's going to do it. In a way, he feels something for Daenerys, but he doesn't know how he's going to handle that. He doesn't know how he's going to be loyal to the northern people. He doesn't know how he's going to be loyal to his family. So it's just so confusing on different, and it doesn't look like he's ready for it.
Yeah.
But let's see how it goes, Sha. I feel he has a big part to play in this war. I'm really interested to see the next episode, I swear.
Yeah, I feel Jon Snow has been on the sidelines, especially for episode 3 and this present episode 4. So I think in 5 and 6 we're going to see much of Jon Snow, his battling skills and his ability to gather people together. I think that's going to come into play because I think Daenerys will need more of that as they march to fight Cersei, and hopefully they can kill her next episode. Edmund, thanks for joining me on the show today.
Thank you so much.
Do take care of yourself.
I will thank you.
Right. Okay, and Precious, thanks for joining me on the podcast today. You're always a regular guest, so thanks for taking our time to join me.
Oh, thanks for having me, Tega.